So something I wanted to discuss, because this type of mistake happens so often, is the difference between solving an equation like x squared equals 9 versus simplifying the square root of 9, okay? Even though they are very similar, they're actually very different. Because for the equation, you end up with two answers, and for the simplifying, you only get one answer, okay? And let's look at that. So if you have x squared equals 9, in order to solve that, you would take the square root of both sides, because remember, the square root and square are opposite operations of each other. So you would square root both sides, and that would give you x equals. Now, here's the mistake that I see. Most people will only write 3, but in reality, it could be a positive or a negative 3, because if you go back to the original equation, let's pretend that x equals 3. Then 3 squared, yes, equals 9, right? But if x equals negative 3, negative 3 squared is negative 3 times negative 3, which also equals 9. So that means that there are two possibilities for the value of x. It could have been a positive 3, or it could have been a negative 3. And that's the thing that I really want to emphasize. When you're solving an equation and you have to take the square root of both sides, you always have two possibilities, the positive version and the negative version. Okay, as opposed to just simplifying a radical. If they just give you the square root of 9 and they ask you to simplify it, then that's only going to be 3. The negative 3 is not a possibility. If they wanted a negative 3, they would have given you this negative square root of 9, and that would give you a negative 3. Okay, so it's really important that when you're solving an equation and you need to square root both sides, you always have to consider the two different possibilities, the positive and the negative.